This meeting is being recorded. Okay, I got it. Very good. I think, John, you shared a little bit not too long ago about being in the conference IBCM.
Spoke on Japan.
Just on Japan's. Okay, so I'll give you just a quick overview of the International Conference on Brethren Missions, IBCM. Oh boy, I don't know how to get rid of the, all right, technical help here. I don't know how to get rid of this message on my screen. Oh, there we go. Couldn't find my little arrow. There we go. Okay. This was the 8th International Conference. It started many years ago, and they've been typically held in 4-year increments. The last 2 sessions were held in Rome, Italy, but this one was in Kuala Lumpur. It was wonderful to get back to Asia. And then after spending time at the conference in late June, we were able to visit workers in Bangkok, Thailand, and in Chiang Rai. So we'll just go through this quickly. All right, now it's not advancing. What do I have to do here?
Click the mouse once, see if that does it.
Oh yeah, it does. Learning all things. So just a quick visual of Malaysia. We were in the city of Kuala Lumpur, city of many people. Noted for the twin towers called Petronas Towers, and this was just a night shot that we had from the view of where the conference was held. Again, a very beautiful city, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. One of the participants, Joel Hernandez, former missionary to Mexico, more recently with Emmaus Bible College. He's on the board of IBCM, and he was giving an introductory remark before a speaker came to speak. We also had an opportunity to connect with Ian Burness, and also John manned the CMML table, and with him is Daniel Ball from Kazakhstan. Interesting to say that next weekend, when Reaching Higher convenes, Daniel will be coming from Kazakhstan to lead that Reaching Higher conference. A great joy for Mary and I was to connect with people that we had recently connected with. This is Sajida Iqbal from Pakistan, who runs a ministry simply called Noor Ministries. It's a school for very underprivileged people. You'll remember that if you were here the Sunday that she gave a little overview. I think 450 students in the school. She has this heart burden for reaching the poor in Lahore, Pakistan. Again, not without issues in terms of safety and security and persecution. She was keen that we take this picture because some of her workers are wearing clothes from the clothing center at CMML. When she visited with us, during the summer, we said, help yourself to the clothing center, and she came up with 3 suitcases that she wanted to take back, but that was mission impossible simply from the expense of the suitcases, so we ended up taking what she couldn't take. We rendezvoused with her at her table. So these are some of her workers. We also had a great opportunity to meet Ramiz Atala. He was one of the presenters, one of the keynoters, has a wonderful ministry in Egypt along with his wife, and he expressed great delight, great joy in the ministry of CMML and what it has meant to him. He's actually under the cover of MSC Canada. Then we were also able to connect with Insun and Yumi Park, who have a ministry in Cambodia. Insun is also the Emmaus Worldwide coordinator for Cambodia. They were involved in a Christian school, but now they're in the capital city of Phnom Penh, actually taking over some of the work that Myung Sung Kim started. And of course, meeting up with Dave and Ruth Harvey is always a great joy. Senior missionaries in the Philippines. We weren't expecting this, but there was quite a contingent from the Philippines, and these are some of the people that we knew when they were much younger in Binangonan. Mary and I taught a choir on Saturday evenings. They remembered us. I felt badly that we didn't quite remember them, but the joy of meeting Filipinos wherever that we meet is always a great joy and great encouragement to us. This particular young lady, her name is Hannah Fleming. We were actually in the Philippines when she was born to missionary parents from New Zealand. And now she is involved in linguistics and is a Bible translator serving in a pretty remote area in the Philippines. It was just a surprise and a great joy to meet up with Hannah Fleming. The music team was an assortment of young people from various parts of the world. The one in just a little bit left of center is a young gal from Emmaus Bible College, just a recent graduate. Lauren Drago was part of the worship team, a wonderful vocalist, but it was, again, just a wonderful ministry. The music ministry was a great thing and a great encouragement to all there. And of course, we were able to connect with Nate and Priyanka and their two children. Nate was the other plenary or main speaker at the conference. So there was a nice blend of young and older in terms of ministry. We just really enjoyed. And of course, Nate is such a powerful and motivating kind of speaker. And their young kids was a great joy to be at the table and enjoy a meal with them. After the conference, and that was a good almost 5 days, good 4.5 days worth of conference, where ministry was provided in the morning and then there were breakout sessions in the afternoon. After the conference, we departed for Thailand, and our first stop was in Bangkok. And then afterwards, we traveled north almost to the border of where Laos and, Myanmar come together, Chiang Rai. But let's talk first about Nick and Vicki Sullivan and their 6 children. They were commended from Orchard Bible Church. It's a hive off of Littleton's Bible Chapel in Colorado. They were intending and had been sent to go to Myanmar, but then the coup in February of 2021 occurred, and that just made it a very dangerous destination. But it didn't keep them from going out to Asia, and they landed in Bangkok for the purpose of studying language for the ultimate purpose of transitioning to Myanmar. Well, as the Lord kind of closed that door to Myanmar, they became more engaged in ministries in Thailand, particularly in Bangkok. And so we spent a couple of days with them. We enjoyed the fellowship with their local church. This is a community church where many of the expatriates who live have gathered together. They gathered for prayer time just before the service. It's Banga Christian Fellowship, typical music service at the beginning, followed by a preaching service. And then after the meal, or after the service, we said we'd take you out for a lunch. And so they took us to a local mall where there was a very large food court. And just passing by, duck hanging in the window was kind of interesting. And some of the flaming dishes as well. But the idea here is you go to a kiosk and you surrender or turn in your cash, and you're issued a piece of paper with a code, a QR code. And that allows you to go from vendor to vendor, and you just work off whatever has been charged to your QR code. So we gave Nick the money, and he went and surrendered it, and of course was issued a QR code. And let's see, they have a family of 8, and Mary and I made 10. We asked, so how much would it cost? He says, well, 500 baht. Well, that's about $15. And so we 10 of us ate for $15 and then gave us change at the end. It was remarkable, and the food was very good. After spending time over lunch, they took us to a park where we worked off some of our food, a very nice park, and of course beautiful with the flowers and so on. And then the next day we spent just the morning looking at and seeing the ministry that Vicki Sullivan has. She is a teacher at International Community School in Bangkok. It's a school that's about 30 years old. It began small and continued to grow. Today they have about 1,200 students. Vicki, as a trained engineer, has great math skills, so she teaches some of the upper level maths. And so her room was closed because of renovations inside, but this is Miss Vicky is how they're referred to at International Community School. It's a NIC school, Network of International Christian Schools. And again, it continues to grow, but a very, very lovely campus. I mean, the facilities were really, really nice. We learned later that they belong to the same athletic league and perhaps some other events as Faith Academy. And so we connected with our daughter and son-in-law, Val and Josh, and said, hey, we're at International Community School. Oh, that's where we had the basketball tournament last fall. And we told them what hotel we were in. Oh, that's the same hotel that we stayed at. And so we had just kind of a fun little connection there. One of the things that Nick is involved in addition to studying language with the purpose of not only learning Thai, but ministering to many Burmese who have fled Myanmar and have come to Thailand, one of the things that Nick is involved in is a CrossFit kind of activity. It's an intense physical fitness activity. And he asked permission, the school gave him permission to use the facility as well as equipment. And so it has turned into a wonderful outreach where Thai people, as well as others, expatriates that come to this intense workout, it's always preceded by a short devotional. On this particular day, he was likening the importance of taking water, but was able to work in the verses that you should be drinking from the living water, and you'll never thirst again. And it was a wonderful time. And he model demonstrates the kinds of activities that are done. And so he has anywhere from 15 to 20 people come twice a week during the summer. I think it's a little bit more frequent during the school year. And so that we had, again, just a wonderful time with the Sullivan family. Then we traveled north. It's a 60-minute plane ride, almost straight north up to the border near Laos and Burma, or Myanmar, to Chiang Rai. And there we met up with John and Abigail Harrell, commended from an assembly in South Carolina, and their son, Micah. And again, a very nice visit. One of the things that John is involved in is teaching English as a foreign language. He actually was able to get a degree from Cambridge University. And as I sat in on his classes, it really hit home just how challenging our English language is. We take it for granted. We know all of the rules. We've been taught all the rules, but here in this particular exercise, John would show or demonstrate the capital letter, and then the student had to pick out the corresponding small letter order. And so that was just kind of a fun exercise to see that happen. Classes run in the afternoon, 3 hours each afternoon, 5 days a week, and different levels. And John teaches different levels depending on the ability of the child. Their son Micah was patiently waiting outside for his dad to finish class as a pretty intense rainstorm was taking place. Micah has a great delight, of course, to the family. We were able to do a bit of sightseeing. This is a tea plantation. Everywhere you look, you just see a good assortment of tea, and that was a neat activity. And of course, I hate to keep bringing food back into the picture, but Thai food is really wonderful. And the best part about it is it's very inexpensive. So they took us to one of their favorite places. I noticed the fan just to kind of keep things cool. This is kind of a hot pot where you select your vegetables, select your meat, put it in the pot, which is boiling, and that helps to cook the ingredients. And again, just a very tasty and a great delight. Thailand is certainly noted for its orchids, and everywhere you look, it just seems like they're filled with orchids. Now, John in Chiang Rai is also, I felt like I needed to be physically fit. Every time I went to these classes, they said, Phil, you want to join in? I'm saying, I think I'll just watch. And that's what I had to do here. He also is involved in this ministry that was started by Thai Christians about 5 years ago And again, it models the CrossFit physical exertion or physical exercise, intensive exercise program. And that has been attractive to Thai people. And so they have various times, various slots for this intense workout. And again, they're always have an opportunity to present the gospel, to be evangelistic in nature. It's also the venue where the local church of expatriates meet, and they always meet on Wednesday evening. And so we were able to be part of that service. They begin with a meal, and that's followed by a time of singing. And then the fellow here is giving the message being interpreted by into Thai for those that were of the Thai language. Abigail is part of the music ministry team, and she was playing the keyboard on the night that we were there. And just before we left, we had an opportunity to visit the local shopping area, and we were really amazed at the size as well as the beauty of mangoes. Green mangoes are more on the tart side, but the yellow mangoes are really juicy and quite sweet. And then if you need to buy meat, you've got chicken on the left and pork on the right, and it's just you pick out your selection, have it weighed, and check out at the counter. So that was our time in June, into a little bit of July, but more recently, from August 16 to 30, we were able to attend the European Workers' Conference in Annecy, France. And then we took a train northward to Germany to visit with Dorley Smith. Annecy is near to the French Alps, and again, it was a very, very hot, uncharacteristically hot week, but again, a beautiful venue. There were about 100 people gathered. That would include children, many from CMML, MSC, ECHOS, and a few other helpers from the United States. One of the key organizers is Dr. Tom Marinello, a professor at Tyndale in Netherlands. Anyway, he was giving some orientation here at the beginning of our time together. The music team was composed of Michael Potts on the keyboard, Pascal Glock on the ukulele. Michael's son, I think his name is Daweed, was the guitarist and also the main leader of the song selection and singing. And the young lady is a worker in Poland, and her name escapes me, I'm sorry. The speaker for the week was Mark Stevenson, Dr. Mark Stevenson, professor of Bible and Theology at Emmaus Bible College. Gave excellent ministry, 8 messages from the book of Mark. Many of you will know Dr. Paul Rabideau. Paul gave afternoon seminars, 3 afternoon seminars on emotional intelligence. It was very, very interesting, a little bit on the deep side, because it involves a lot of brain activity and how that expresses itself in behavior. Nevertheless, it was thought-provoking and very, very helpful. He's in the throes of writing a book. I said, Paul, how far are you? He said, I'm just on the introduction. So he's got a few things yet to do. Paul is presently at Tyndale at the invitation of Tom to present a similar seminar to the students there at Tyndale. Many of you will know Herma, and she didn't hold back on her presentation. There's time given in the evenings for workers to present the ministry, and Herma went right to town giving an update on things happening in Senegal. There was a significantly large group of those who were Emmaus Bible students, and so the decision was made, hey, let's get a group picture of those that are involved in Emmaus. Some of those folks you'll recognize. You see the Pasquales, or at least Daniel, and Maureen Crow. The young gal with the Emmaus shirt on is the daughter of Mark and Tanya Stevenson. Her name is Caitlin. Tim Louisbrand, and a few others. So that was kind of fun. I guess it was one afternoon, one of the seminar afternoons, where Paul was not teaching, we were treated to a little concert by the Glock family singers. Anastasia, Sylvie and Pasquale, who really enjoys music, presented some original work that he had composed, and it was just a nice time to be together. There was a family fun night. Now this is Steve Louis brand of Serbia, and the idea here on this little activity was they put a chip on your forehead, and you couldn't use your hands. You just had to manipulate the chip to your mouth. I don't remember if he actually made it, but that was an action shot. I've got one of Paul Rabideau that I probably shouldn't show, but nevertheless. The chow line or the food line, it's cafeteria style, but the presentation is always excellent. There's always fish at one of the meals. No, at every meal there's fish, but they also have alternatives. Many of you know that I'm not a fish fancier. In fact, I think this night, what you're looking at here is shark, but I went with the chicken. In terms of guests at tables, that we have Danny and Paola Pasquale and Tom and Ann Stanchek from Poland. And then here's the French connection with the Chalvets, Anne and Gerard, as well as Maureen and Colin Crow. Janet Jackson. And now Janet has been dealing with some pretty significant depression since the beginning of the year of 2023. We were delighted to see her. You look at a picture like this and you would see no evidence of depression that she's going through. She seems to be slowly coming out of it, but again, it was just a great delight to see her. I'm sorry, what did I say? Did I say Janet Jackson? Oh, that's just like, oh, dear. All right, see, you got to erase that recording. Janet Johnson, all right, very good. And then we had a 5-hour train ride, taking a couple of trains from Geneva to Mannheim, Germany. Train service in Europe is really wonderful and it's reasonable. And most of the time, they're on time. We did have a little glitch coming back, but we had just a wonderful visit with Dorley. She is actually holding a card that was designed by, was it designed by Anastasia?
Sylvie.
Oh, no, Sylvie Glock. Okay, she's the artist. And the idea was for any who would like to greet Dorley, Mary kind of organized this little thing. And many had submitted, very nice comments and well wishes. It actually brought her to tears. Not that you would see in this picture, but it was just a wonderful thing that we were able to do. We did take a morning, and we put ourselves on this ferry that just crosses one of the tributaries of the Rhine River to take us to a place called Ladenburg. It's a euro a piece. It was really funny because when we went over, we were charged, what, €3? I guess it's €1 for the car and €1 per person, but they didn't see Dorley in the back. But on the way back, we had to pay for Dorley. Otherwise, we'd leave her on the other side. Anyway, it was a very cheap but very effective way to cross the river. Cars wait, and it passes pretty quickly from one side to the other. Dorley doesn't miss a beat. So here's a fellow by the name of Lawrence Jackson. It will mean nothing to any of us. It's just that I happened to see his name on his cell phone. We were trying to reassemble her walker, taking it out of the car, and he happened to stroll along and he says, "Do you need any help?" And by that time we had got it set up, and he goes, "Oh, you speak English?" And Dorley engaged him in conversation, even offered to help him. He's looking to relocate to the local area there. His son is going to college there, and he's been in the international teaching circuit, but she didn't miss a beat, not only offering to help, but sharing the gospel. And then we just had a nice time with Dorley in the town that we were visiting. The town is where Carl Benz of Mercedes-Benz has a home, or had a home. On Sunday, I had the opportunity and privilege to speak at the assembly. This is the Heidelberg Assembly. It's 105 years old. There was a good congregation, although it was the end of the summer, so there were many empty chairs. I got a chance to pose with the elders of the assembly. And here is the group on Sunday morning greeting you as we bring this to a close. So we had, again, just a wonderful time, and we're grateful for the prayers of you folks and others as we have opportunity to meet and greet and share with missionaries. Any comments or questions? Let's go into our prayer time. I prepared some